Doreen Granpeesheh is the
Dr. Doreen is an expert in autism.
Doreen Granpeesheh.
Dr. Granpeesheh.
Dr. Doreen Granpeesheh.
Dr. Doreen Granpeesheh is a visionary in the field of autism. Now you can ask her questions on Ask Dr. Doreen. Well, another Sarah wrote in and said that she's a mom of twin boys, 2.5 years old. They've been doing ABA for over a year because yippee-yi-yay. And she says the kids are doing really well, verbal, but not yet conversational. And they're contemplating sending them to school. What are the key indicators that this will help them, to make the decision? They don't want to waste their time by sending them to a school if it's not what is appropriate for them at this time. So they are 2.5.
Yeah, so school is a very, very important decision, right? And the reason I say that is not only because you have to find a school that is supportive enough and is going to do all the things that you want them to do for your child when the child is at school, but also because you realize that school is taking away from all the other time, right? So when your child is in school, those are many hours of the child's day, and they better be productive and they better be just fantastic and the best use of time. So when you're looking at 2.5, honestly, I don't know that I would, if it was me, I would take advantage of the early years as much as possible. And I often put school kind of as something that I deal with when the child is 5 or so, because at that point I can't any longer keep them out of school. It's kind of like, when you do want, if you have a good ABA program, if you have a lot of hours, take advantage of not needing to teach academics yet, and use that time to teach language and social skills and all the things that you can focus specifically on just early language, requesting, labeling objects in their environment, giving eye contact, socializing, taking care of their own daily needs. There's like so many things that I would want to work on before reaching academics. Once school hits, your 30 hours of the child's time is taken for academic things. So honestly, I would delay school as much as possible if you have the resources and if you are able, if it's possible for you to get ABA instead. If not, then obviously keeping your child busy with school or anything else is more important or it's better than not doing anything. So I think it's really, really important to use your time wisely, and that is a child by child kind of decision. So you kind of have to look at your child's needs. And a lot of times, Shannon, people will say, oh, I want my child to socialize, so I want them in school earlier. And my response is, a child who doesn't have language or is not able to keep up with other children is just not going to learn to socialize just by being put in that environment. It's, prepare the child for socialization by giving them those very important early skills, so that when they are integrated into school, they are more able to interact successfully and they don't feel left out. They don't, they're able to grasp what's going on around them better.
Yeah. My mind is full of so many different things here, but I want to say this so that everybody's clear. There were so many things that I messed up when my kid was little that I wish I could go back and redo. I wish I could go back, re-legislate, do all kinds of things. So please don't anybody think that I did it perfectly. There were a couple of things, though, that I lucked into and a couple of things that I did well with. One of the things that I failed at was I didn't stand in the line where I found out about funding sources. So I was still trying to work while my kid was still getting therapy, and it didn't go well for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I do want to say, because when people were talking about how do you do ABA, how do you afford these things, I do want to say that if you're in California, and especially you have twins, if you happen to be in California, California has a program, IHSS, which
Yeah.
will pay you to stay home with your kids and help them to do what they need to do. So that's not available widely in other states, although it's starting to come more online. But if you could, I mean, you have 2 kids, and if you could stay home and just focus on them for the next couple of years, and their ABA programs and their enriched environment, it would be super fantabulous, right? If that's not an option, like it wasn't an option for me, because I didn't know about this funding, then you can do other things. But one of the things that I did do right was that somehow I didn't do it really right. I lucked into it. The gal who lived in the condo across from us was part of a group of moms who homeschooled their older kids, and they had younger kids. So they constantly were going and doing things that were just so educationally enriched. They, they would have an activity to go. They wouldn't just go to the park, they would have an activity to go to the park. And they, didn't just go to a museum, they would put together an activity packet to go to the museum with all the kids. And so it was like the most incredible, open air preschool that we could just drop in whenever we wanted to. So I'll tell you, some of these homeschooling moms, like, hook up with some of them, because I guarantee you that they've got younger kids too, and they probably have something fun going on. But I'm like Dr. Granpeesheh, your kids are going to spend a lot of years in school, and then you're going to march to whatever the school has going on while you're fighting them for, IEP stuff. And these years, boy, you have this, if they're doing well, you have such an opportunity. I would be looking at keeping them in their ABA program at home as well.
Mhm.
Just saying. Dr. Granpeesheh's advice is much more important than mine, but I'm doubling down on it.
If you found anything helpful in this video, please give us a like. In fact, make sure that you smash that subscribe button on YouTube and give us a like on Facebook. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram for important updates. And please download our free podcast wherever you get your podcasts. See you next time. Until then, give your kiddos a hug from me and one for you too. Bye-bye for now.
To subscribe, click here. And if you'd like to check out some more of our videos, click here.